All right, how's it going, gentlemen? Short video for y'all today. Obviously, today is 9/11, and I'm not going to wax philosophical or sentimental about it. It is what it is at this point. It's, 21 years later, still a national tragedy and something that's not going to easily be forgotten for another, 100, 200 years, even probably 300 years, assuming things continue, normally and we don't get wiped out by some meteor or something. So to be fair, I don't really have any recollection myself of 9/11. I think the only memory I have of it was I was about 4 years old when it happened. I think four going on five, and I was like in preschool, and I remember talking to my classmates, and they were saying something about terrorists. And I was like, I'd never heard of that word before. It was kind of just a weird day. I don't really remember watching it on live television. I don't think my parents, let me watch it, which is fine, whatever. And it didn't really have any bearing on me until I was about in third grade, like 2006, so 5 years after 9/11, when I had checked out this military themed book from the library. And like towards the back half of the book, it was talking about like Osama bin Laden's mountain bunker system that they had with the, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but like the crazy cutaway pictures of like what they thought he had going on with like air duct systems and like the ability to fit like T-72 tanks inside. And that's when I kind of did my own research and kind of like learned and taught myself about what happened on September 11th, 2001. And to be fair, like, like I heard like the invasion of Afghanistan, like through my parents, and like the invasion of Iraq. And to be honest, like I was terrified of war at that point. I mean, as most kids probably are. But I was like, man, I would never join the army. Like that sounds terrifying. Like I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to die. And I was probably had an unhealthy relationship with the news. My dad did enjoy watching the news a lot, so I would see updates on the war in Iraq and watching tanks drive around, and so it was kind of it was like a deviation, I guess, for when I decided to join the army, because I'd grown up like kind of not wanting to do anything military related or go to war or anything. I didn't join because of 9/11. I joined because I wanted adventure and I wanted a challenge. And I didn't like the fact that happened. Like, I didn't have any kind of misplaced sense of like, oh, we need to get back at these people for taking down our towers. Like, I was mature enough to at least know it's like, hey, like, yeah, that happened and it's a tragedy, but like I'm joining for my own reasons and not for this misplaced sense of revenge that I think is unhealthy to. I mean, obviously, if you were of fighting age when it happened, like totally, like I get that. But me being a member of the later part of the global war on terrorism, like I didn't remember that day, too much, so it wasn't a driving factor in the decision that I made to enlist. What was wild to me is towards the end of my army career is we were getting kids in Ranger privates, not kids, I mean same, but we were getting privates who weren't even alive when 9/11 happened, which is pretty insane considering, like, yes, that was the kind of defining reason we went to war in the first place, and it's like they weren't even alive, and that's how long the global war on terrorism had been going, which I just thought was pretty insane, to be honest. Um, but yeah, like just kind of remembering it today, like there's a lot of controversy around 9/11 nowadays, which I get because like we still don't know the full story. Like 21 years later, we don't know the full story, and I'm not gonna like dive into conspiracy theories because they're all out there pretty much. But I definitely don't disagree with them on the fact like we don't know the full story, and that we probably won't know for another 50, 75 years. Like Pearl Harbor happened, and like it came out way later that they kind of did have foreknowledge of it, but they allowed it to happen because they knew that it would drive the American populace into being okay with going to war. So that's, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna claim to know why or who truly was behind it, or if it was, make claims that it was our government that did it. But I just don't think that we're getting the full story, which is, dishonest, and it's kind of sad. Like, these people that had their lives directly impacted by it, like they're not getting the full story when they deserve be told the truth, you know. So that's all I've got on it. I don't really want to, you know, talk about 9/11 too much because there's plenty of other talking heads out there who want to espouse their opinions on it. But I just figured I would make a quick video about kind of my relationship to the event. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.